Alright, here's another tutorial for Noteflight. This time I'm going to be showing you a strategy for dealing with Canis Firmus and Counterpoint. Now that we've worked out some of the kinks with Noteflight, we can actually get into doing this right. So I'm looking at, let's see, this is 9.2.1a3, and I have a Cantus Firmus as the upper voice and a counterpoint that I need to write in. I'm actually going to be doing the same Cantus Firmus but with different counterpoints. So let's deal with the first one. Cantus Firmus is going to go C, E, F, G. It's 4 measures. It is incomplete, but C, E, F, G is the first piece that I need to worry about. So I'm going to set up a table, and I'm going to set it up for this kind of homework. 5x5 table will work. So across the top row, interval, measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, measure 4, however many measures you need. For these, they're 4 measure examples. Then the first column is going to be the consonant intervals. So you're dealing with the octave, third, fifth, or sixth. Now, at the octave, or you could also consider it a unison, I'm going to write the Cantus Firmus. C, E, F, G. In the rest of the rows, I'm just going to fill in the interval. In our case, I'm going to fill in the interval below each one because the counterpoint is the lower voice. So we're going to go a third below C, third below E, third below F, and third below G. Okay, next one I'm going to go a fifth below. So I'm going to go down to below C, then below E, then below F. Now this one's going to be a problem, you'll see in a second. And a fifth below G. Alright, so let's go deal with this B. Going from F to B is a tritone. So I'm going to mark this one because I can't really use it. A tritone is not a consonant interval. It's not a perfect fifth. So that's a no-go for us. So I'm going to fill that one in just so I remember it. That's not going to do. Maybe we'll go red. No tritones. Alright, moving on. We're going to go 6 below C. And we're going to go 6 below E. Then a 6 below F. And then a 6 below G. And there's your table. The table will show you all your options for measure 1, 2, 3, and so on. So in measure 1, we could harmonize the C with A, F, or E. However, since it is measure 1, we really only have 2 options. We have the octave, we have the fifth. Because when you open a Cantus Firmus with a counterpoint, you need to start at the perfect fifth or the octave. That's one of the rules. So we get F or we get C. I'm going to start actually at the unison. So I'll start it here, and let me change the duration. Alright, so then for my next one, and I'll go ahead and type in, that one's a unison. Alright, so here we are, next one. So let's see what my options are. I know E is in the Cantus Firmus, so I can either do C, A, or G. Now I started on C, so I probably don't want to go to C again. Oblique motion is not the greatest. So really A or G are going to be good choices for me. Let's take a look. I'm going to go down to the G, I think. That will give me some nice contrary motion. We'll try it. Next one is F. Let's see what my options are. I can either go D or A. So let's see. This one goes up by step. I could try similar or parallel motion here. Let's make sure it's not parallel perfect octaves. So this from G up to E, there's a 6 there, and then A up to F is also a 6. Parallel 6s are fine. So I got one more to do. Let's check my options. G in the cantus firmus, I can either go E, C, or B, and let's see what makes sense. Well, I kind of have an upward trend here. I could just continue and put a B here. Let's make sure it works. Change the duration. From B up to G, well, that's another 6. And as I said, parallel 6s are fine. You probably don't want to do more than 3. So eventually, we should change direction. But for this one, that'll work. So let's audition it, make sure we like the sound. And I can hear the different lines. I do have some independence. Obviously we start on a unison, so there's no real independence there. But that's what you want for the first measure. So this will work. And let's try the next one. Same cantus firmus. So let's check my options. Once again, I'm starting it, so I need to start either at octave or fifth below. I'm going to go unison again. Unison, octave, same thing. Make it into a whole note. Next one, this time, so I've got C, A, or G, and last time I went to a G. So I'm actually going to do oblique motion this time. I'm going to stick with the C. And F in the cantus firmus, let's see what my options are. I can either go with D or A. Last time I went to A, so I could do that again. Technically I do have a different harmonization because I did oblique motion here. A would be a pretty good option because it creates contrary motion. The cantus firmus goes up. I think I'll do A again. And the last one, I could go E, C, or B. The cantus firmus goes up. I could go up. That would create a nice distinction in the line. Oblique motion, descending, I could go ascending. I'll go back to a B. Check my intervals. Unison here. Third here. A to F is a 6. And B to G, also a 6. Parallel 6 is fine. Notice I am favoring thirds and 6s. Those are a good way to go. So let's audition this one and make sure we like it. So maybe you heard that having oblique motion here, it's okay. I'm not really as crazy about the oblique motion as I was about this one. This was probably a better harmonization, but this one does technically work. Let's listen to it once more. Yeah, it works. It's not great, but it works. It follows the rules. This one, probably the better of the two. So let's do one more. This time we're going to use cantus firmus in the lower voice. So we have C, B, C, A. Once again, we're opening the cantus firmus, and we only have 4 measures. So I'm going to set up my table. The lower voice is now the cantus firmus, C, B, C, A. Okay, so now I want a third above, and a third above, okay, now we're going to go a fifth above. Fifth above C is G, and then we have fifth above B, is F. Then fifth above C is G. Fifth above A is E. Oops. E. Then we're on to a sixth above. Sixth above C is A, G, A, and F. Alright. So for this one, we're gonna really use the same process, but now since the since the canus firmus is in the lower voice, we just switch it. Nothing really too complicated about it. We do, of course, want to watch out for any tritones. So if you see one in here, you should be looking at from B to F. We don't want to use that one. So I'm going to mark it. That one we probably shouldn't use. No tritones. Alright, so let's get into it. I will start at the octave. Alright, then let's see, the canus firmus is going down by step, and I might like to go, let's go up by step. We'll see if that works. Do I have the option of going to D? Yep. I'll try that. So I'm going to go up by a step. And then we're going up by a step in the canus firmus. So maybe I'll go down in the next one. So let me see what measure 2, well, I guess this is measure 3. Let me see what measure 3 will allow. So measure 3, I can do E, G, or A. Let's see. I think I'll go down to the A. That is a leap, but if you notice in the other voice, I'm going by step. So that's totally a legal move, and it is in contrary motion, so that's definitely favorable. Alright, and then our last one. So the canus firmus moves down by a skip. My options are C, E, and F. I think I might just go up, back to the C. That way I'm preserving the contrary motion theme, and a skip in both voices is not a terrible thing, especially if it's opposite directions. You just don't want to skip into a perfect interval. Like if this was an octave or a fifth, I wouldn't want to do that kind of motion, because it would take away from the independence of line. So let's check my intervals. Of course, we're going to start with the octave. And then here we're going to go from B to D. So we're going to go third. Don't really need a notification right now. Then we're going to go C to A, 6, and then from A to C. Oops. I guess I'll call it a 10th. Once again, I'm favoring the thirds and sixes. Perfect intervals, you only need them every once in a while. So, that's how you'll use the table method. I think it's pretty helpful. It shows all your options, and it will help you watch out for anytime you have something that's in a fifth. Double check, make sure there's no tritone there. So, good luck on tonight's homework. Make sure you save before you share it with me. That apparently was a hang-up for almost everyone. So, enjoy your compositions.